Hello everyone, it's Deborah at Attic Lane and I'm here with a very special video for you today. It's a card that I've made just for you to celebrate the fact that we now have 500 subscribers to the Attic Lane YouTube channel, which is absolutely brilliant. You're all gorgeous, beautiful and lovely people and I want to say thank you. So we're going to make a pop-out box card. I'm starting with a piece of black card 10.5 inches wide by 5.5 deep, and I have two smaller pieces of card which are 3.5 inches wide and 2.75 inches deep. With the first black card, I'm going to score it at 2.5 inches, 5 inches, 7.5 inches and 10 inches, leaving a 1/2 inch tab at the end. And then I'm going to turn it and score it in half at 2.75 inches down 3 of the first panels, leaving the final panel untouched. That back piece is going to form the back of the card, so I don't want to touch that. And in fact, later on in the video I'll reinforce it with a piece of black card which I cut to size to match. So we're going to cut down the tab first. It's useful to do the tab first because then you know that's the base of your box. So I'll just take a little strip off here, I'll cut away a couple of the corners, and then I've left myself a nice amount of tab to glue to hold the box in place when we go to assemble it. And I'm going to cut down halfway the top pieces, and these will form the flaps of the box. It'll all become clear when you see it in action. And again, I'm leaving that final piece untouched because that is the back of my box. I'm folding down all of my score lines. This will make the whole box easier to assemble, and you can see it's already beginning to take on its shape. And I'm folding down these 3 pieces, but not the final end panel because that's the one that is the back of our box. So now I'm going to take the 2 inner pieces, these are the smaller black squares that we cut out earlier, and I'm going to score those at 1/2 inch and 3 inches, leaving a 1/2 inch tab on either side. The reason for using a scoreboard, if you have one, is because it's quicker and easier than having to measure with a ruler and a pencil. And I'll score and fold in the 2 1/2 inch tabs. These are what I'll use to glue these 2 pieces into the base of the box. I'm moving on to the craft mat now because things are going to get a little bit messy. I have some Nuvo embellishment mousse which I'm going to use to just make a bit of a splash on the topmost part of the box. So I have 2 colours. The first one is fresh copper, and I'm just taking a little piece with my finger and dabbing it onto my craft mat. And the second colour we're going to use is Indian gold. I found these mousses to be very versatile because you can dilute them with water, so that means that you can use them for painting as well as other applications. In this we're going to use it to create splashes, so you can see a little spritz of water, a little rub around with the brush, and you have a beautiful gold paint. I'm really focused on the top flaps of my box, but I don't mind if it goes a little bit further south into the base of the box because it won't be seen. It's only those top outer edges that will be visible. So now I'm going to assemble my box. The first thing that I'm going to do is reinforce that back piece with an extra piece of black card which I've cut to shape, and I'm using wet glue because that's very forgiving, and it means that if I don't position things absolutely in the right place first time, I've got a little bit of wiggle room. Once this piece is in place, you'll be able to see how the box is going to come together and take on its final shape. I'm going to glue the tab in place now, and then once that's done I can start to add the inside pieces. You can flatten the box to seal that inside tab, but just be careful glue doesn't smush out from underneath and glue the inside of your box together. That's not what you want at all. So here we are, and I've got the inside pieces which I'm going to add now. So I'm going to glue the tabs. Again, I'm using wet glue. If you use your fingers just to curve that piece of card as you slide it into the base, it will stop you putting glue absolutely everywhere. And I'm just going to use my fingers to get the tabs in the right position, and then I'm going to fold the box closed, being careful not to glue it to itself on the inside, to make sure that that tab is held really firmly in place. When I'm happy with that, I'm going to add the second tab. Now I've cut some pieces of black card I've also cut out a selection of words and the important 500 number and some hearts. I've done this using my Brother Scan and Cut, but you could use die cuts, whatever you have. Obviously this is for a very special occasion. So start at the front and glue your pieces into place, working from the front to the back. The black pieces of card are what I will use to raise the words and the numbers up slightly higher than the piece in front, so that when you look at the card from the front, everything is visible. And I wanted to share this die cut with you because I think it's beautiful. It's from the Swedish House, and I will leave a link to it in the video below. But these were new find for me, and I wanted to share with you just how beautiful and intricate these are. I've glued all my pieces in place and the card is ready. Obviously if you were making this to send through the post you would make sure all those things didn't stick out, but I knew I wasn't going to be posting this, just sharing it with all of you. So ta-da! Here we are, 500 thank yous to 500 subscribers. Thank you ever so much for being part of this, and I hope that you enjoyed this make, and I'm going to leave you with some close-ups of the card along with some real whoop-de-doo happy music that we're dancing to in the attic because of all of you.